Welcome to my second live on my channel. Happy New Year. It's not too late to say Happy New Year, right? No? So let me know where you are watching from as you're coming in because I got 500 subscribers. Woo! Natalie, don't you and you. My best friend is in here with me and she's trying to be quiet and I'm screaming by myself looking crazy. You're not gonna come on camera. But what I wanted to say was let me know where you're watching from because my 500 subscribers are all over the world. So when I was in Kenya, I got a lot of subscribers. So if you're watching from Kenya, let me know. Drop your flag in the comment. And also when I was in Ghana, I got a lot of subscribers when I was sharing my experience in Ghana as well. So I got a lot of love from sharing my solo travel experience in Africa. So I just shared like in my intro video, like a little bit about me. If you're not familiar, my name is Tasha Danielle. Welcome to my live. If you found this just scrolling on the YouTube streets, welcome to my live. I'm celebrating 500 subscribers and I've been traveling solo for 7 months now. I left the US in June and I've been all over the world, not all over really. I've only been to Europe and throughout Africa. But I'm back home now. I'm back in the US. I'm not in Detroit, but I'm in Orlando right now with my best friend because I decided to surprise my family well, I don't even know what day of the week it is, y'all, but whatever day it was, I came I came to Florida on Thursday and I went on a cruise with my family and I surprised my auntie for her 75th birthday. So that is why I came back to the US. So this live is just to celebrate that. I'm gonna pop some champagne in a second. So see some comments. Thank you. Yes, yes. My mama is going, yes, my mama's all up and through here. Hi, Gabby. Hi, Jamila. Hi, Yvette. You don't know, Musa. I'm thinking we can folk. I just don't know who you were. Hi, Miss Lady from Charlotte. Um, and Kenya. Hey, Nation of Africa. Wait, I'm like, this is going so fast. Thanks, Tosh. And I'm going through. Thank you, Jerry, for saying you love my blog, Satan Crow. Did I say that right? I think I did. Thank y'all for tuning in. So this is also Q&A. So if you also like I was saying, drop in where you're watching from, but also if you have any questions for me, drop them in the chat. You can ask me anything. That don't mean I'm gonna answer it. You can ask me anything. So my goal, so I hit 500 subscribers right now. So my goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers by April 1st. So I have 500 more to go. So if you like my content, share the video or just share it with people who you think would like to watch travel vlogs. And I am a CPA certified public accountant. So I know about money and I'm going to start talking a lot more about that this year. I left the US because I was burnt out. So in corporate America for 14 years, and while I was working anywhere between 40 to 90 hours in a work week throughout the 14 years, I was building two businesses as well. So I was burnt out. And one of the businesses that I have is Financial Garden. And I was teaching kids around Detroit about money and how to be smart with money. And as I was educating them, the teachers in the classroom were taking notes, the parents were asking me questions. So I eventually started coaching parents on finances about improving their credit, how to start investing, and all of that. But when I quit my job in June of last year, I had no more interest in that. Like I just was burnt out. So now I'm getting back motivated to talk about money and share all the things that I used to coach people about, coach adults about one-on-one. And I'm getting back in that lane. So if you are not subscribed to my travel diaries, I've been very honest about being over my budget. And so the first quarter of this year is going to be me sharing how I'm going to get my money up. Because if I do not, I'm going to have to probably get a job, or I'm going to have to pull more from my investments, which I'm not going to do. I'm only going to pull from what I save. So YouTube goal is 1,000 subscribers because I want to monetize my channel. So that's my goal by April 1st. So what I want to know is, What is your goal? Drop it in the chat. What's your goal by April 1st? We know it's the beginning of the new year. If you had New Year's resolution, good for you. But New Year's resolutions usually do not last because people don't get specific. So I know this has been a goal I set in October. So if you are working towards anything, let me know in the chat. Not only am I over budget, I'm over my goal weight that I left the US with. So I gotta lose some pounds. I gotta get my money together. I gotta do everything. Hi, Cynthia, cousin. Hi, Sandra. Hi, new YouTube server. Hey, Mimi. So what is one of your goals for 2023 Q1 2023? So April 1st, when I come on live to say that I achieved my goal, because we know I'm gonna hit that goal, right? I want to know y'all gonna be celebrating y'all goal as well. So, and also like how can we get there together? So I got a lot. I got my money. And I also have like to become more active because when I was traveling, I was not as consistent with working out. And so I'm not going to use that as an excuse anymore. Yes. So one of the questions, CPA and financial info. So yeah, I want to go into my next thing, like what's next for me. No, I'm gonna actually before I get there, I'm gonna do YouTube questions really quick because I don't see them in the chat right now, but a lot of friends and family ask me, and on Instagram, I get a lot of DMs on like, do I edit my own vlogs? And who's doing my editing? Who's doing my like thumbnails? Me. I'm doing everything because I really love sharing my story. I did not expect to really like this as much as I do. And it's time consuming, but it's a hobby that I'm enjoying. So I do everything myself. And I edit on my phone. So when I'm on a plane, when I'm on a train, when I'm on a bus, I'm editing YouTube videos. And when you do vlogs and try to capture the different stuff that I do, it takes time, it takes space up on my phone, and I'm using only I do not have a GoPro or anything like that. I'm using my iPhone 13 and my Samsung 22 to record all my videos. So I just wanted to answer some of those questions. For people who may watch on the replay who don't get a chance to drop their questions in the chat, that's for you. And my replay gang, make sure you let me know where you're watching from as well. So where am I now? I want to let you guys know this as you're letting me know what your goals are, any questions you have, like specific questions you have for me. I'm in Florida. I'm in Orlando right now. Was looking. Natalie is here. I'm staying with my friend Natalie because I'm over budget and I need to live somewhere for free for the next few days before I go to San Francisco and stay with somebody else for free. But no, seriously, like I came back to visit my family and I was really strategic about it. I'm using some of my miles and points to get me to San Francisco, where I'm going to go to Thailand. So I'm going to go to Asia next. I have wanted to go to Japan since I was like in fourth grade. So I will be going to Japan in April, but I'm gonna chill out in Thailand for a few months until April because it's cheap and I need to save money. And when I'm in Thailand, I'll be doing a lot more focused work, meaning more content on personal finance. I'm gonna get back into like laying out my coaching plan that I used to do, like revamping some of that. I had online courses a couple years ago, going back through that stuff and revamping it. But I've just the last 7 months, I've just been enjoying not doing anything but what I wanted to do. I'm a very structured person. So I realized I was getting burnt out like 2 years ago. And I didn't realize how much I had going on until like COVID hit. I think a lot of people slowed down during COVID, but I'm like, how am I like having a personal life, like having my friends dating, and then I'm a leader in my church, sitting on 2 nonprofit boards, running 2 businesses. I don't know how the heck I did it, but I did. And when I got to the point where I left my job, I didn't want to do anything but travel. So that's what y'all been seeing, 7 months of me just not really having a plan, like having a loose itinerary. But now I'm ready to get to the money, as in earn money, have money coming in by June. So I did save for me not to stress or worry about money coming in up until June. And if you want to know how much I save, I will not reveal that number. I may reveal it soon, but it will only be to my newsletter subscribers. So if you are reading my travel diaries, y'all know I share a lot more information in my newsletters than I do on my vlogs. And I already share a lot of information on IG and my stories. I'm very transparent, but I still like I don't want to focus so much on like, oh my God, I gotta have a certain amount coming in now and take away from me just relaxing and letting money come to me. I can rely on, like I said, my businesses. I'm not taking anything from that, but I want to just see how much I can bring in being creative. And if you're thinking it must be nice, y'all, I worked hard for this. Like for real, for real. So let's see. Natalie, get more active. We going to the gym in a second. Whoop whoop. Steve, so Nation of Africa, what specific question do you have about financial info? Revamp your business and push forward to my message, be more active. Yes, I have you, Tanya. Thank you, Ayla. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. Thank you. I've gotten better with my editing skills. I look back at my first few videos, I'm like, ooh, child. And I know when I come back to look at these videos from this year, like as long as I'm probably gonna say the same thing because I hope that I continue to get better. Thank you, Lisa. Hey, Rochelle. Like I said before in my last live, if nobody else don't be on this live, Rochelle and my mama is gonna be on this live. I'm gonna drop the link to my IG in the chat. Hey, Vanessa, girl. Yes, you finally on. Thank you for joining. I'm glad to see you are here. Vanessa, let me know what you're working on for this year. In my IG, if you search Tasha Journeys, it will pop up on there. So Tasha, what you working on? Natasha is my sister through Natalie. Natalie has three sisters, and they all claim me as they push your little sister. Yes, physically responsible in health all day, every day. That's what we're focusing on. So I already told you, like, even on YouTube is my goal to get to 1,000 subscribers. It's because I want to be able to get ad revenue from YouTube. That's not going to be a ton of money when you first get monetized on YouTube, but I want my channel to be searchable. Like when people type in travel or money, I want my channel to come up because I want them to be able to eventually maybe sign up for some of my challenges or sign up for coaching or anything like that. So that's why that's one of my goals. Aside from that being my number one, the first quarter, Financial Garden, like I mentioned before, is my youth financial literacy company. It's officially a nonprofit now. So I'm working on that. I have a lot of stuff coming for April for Financial Literacy Month. Even though I'm gonna be in Asia, I'm still planning some stuff for Detroit. So focusing on high school students or whatever and that. So being a nonprofit, not focusing on income stream necessarily, but Financial Garden is like my child. I've been doing Financial Garden for almost 10 years since 2014. And that was a revenue stream for me. But now I'm focusing on making it a salary for me, whatever I determine what that's going to be, but really focusing on serving children and taking the financial coaching piece out of it. So let me come back to the comments. Consistently, yes, going after all my business ventures consistently. So people who are saying working on their business, I want to know how are you, how are you getting fine tuned on that? Because Rochelle, who's in this chat, she is one of my friends who calls me out. If you are a dear friend of mine, I will let you know when you on some BS. And Rochelle is definitely that to me. And so me and her and another friend of ours, we are doing like every other Sunday. We're having calls and checking in on how to break that big goal down to little steps. So if I want to have 1,000 subscribers by April 1st, like I said, okay, well, what do I want to hit by every 2 weeks? You know what I mean? So I'm literally breaking it down. Like, so our last call that we had, I was like, all right, by the 22nd, when we get on that Sunday, I'm gonna have 500 subscribers, and I'm gonna go live when I have my subscribers. So Rochelle, you can check me off for Sunday, boo, because I done hit my stuff. So I'm gonna see where you at, and that's what we're doing because we want to make sure that we're not just saying we want to do a goal and it's just so big. Like I want to get healthy. Yes, I'm happy to hear that. How are you narrowing down on that? Like, what's the first step? Are you gonna focus on nutrition first or active? So I know that I said I need to lose weight, but I'm focusing more on my BMI, and it's for me, right? It's not because I'm going by what anybody else is saying about me. I'm just saying what weight I'm comfortable in, and my judging is going to be by my clothes, and I'm focusing on body fat percentage and BMI this year. And so while my number one goal right now is my YouTube, I'm still working on little stuff like for fitness. So, for example, I'm trying to make sure I walk 2 miles every day. I don't have my Fitbit on. I didn't take that with me, and I do have like a smartwatch or whatever, but I'm not looking at steps. I just get on the treadmill and I'm like 2 miles because I just want to get back active. And I went from like before I left the US like running. And now I'm like, I be out of breath walking upstairs. So I'm trying to get back to I did, friend. You did too. We had a good call today. So I know you're gonna have some good news on Sunday. But it's really important to break down like the big goals that you want to have into little ones. So that's what I'm saying for fitness. So it's like, okay, did I walk 2 miles on the treadmill today? I'm about to when I get off this live, even though I'm gonna pop some bubbly in a few minutes for with y'all to celebrate because I really did work hard to get 500 subscribers. It was like not easy, like at all. Writing a book and working on my YouTube and doing events. Yes. Okay, Tosh. She does so many good events, very good at decorating. And I'm not just saying this because I know her, but she puts a lot of time and like her heart goes into what she does with events. And I think when most people when they start off with a business, they do something that they're passionate about, they really care about. And when you do that, you may not focus so much on the business side of things. So drop in if you have that, like, okay, if that's a focus for you or concern, drop it in. I did do like some free challenges before, and I'm thinking about bringing some of them back. So I want to get an idea of what people interests are, even if you are on the replay game. And also, the last live I did was during lunchtime. It was during it was like 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because I was in Kenya, so I was 8 hours ahead. Now I'm on Eastern Standard Time. I'm about to be on California time, Pacific in a minute, but I'm trying to see if evening times I get more people on, or if afternoon is better. The struggle is real. Yes, it is, but it's all about like breaking it down and delaying gratification. So if you're not familiar with my finance story, like I paid off $80,000 of debt before the age of 30, and I had to give up some stuff to be able to do that. I had to pass on some brunches. I had to pass on like doing all the fun stuff because I wanted to get out of debt. Most of my debt was student loans. But a lot of people look at my story and say, oh, well, you're single, you don't have any kids. It must be nice. It's not that hard. I have health conditions that cost out of pocket. Have had several surgeries in my life. I just had surgery last January and I did not recover well. But thankfully, I did have great health insurance. And from a financial perspective, it was not a big deal. But my previous employer, my health insurance was trash, and I paid a lot of money out of pocket while I was paying off debt. So I said all that to say is like we all have something that's going on. We never know what anybody's going through because everybody assume because I was single and didn't have kids, I didn't have any responsibilities, and I had health, and I was a legal guardian over my grandmother. I had a lot of responsibilities on my plate. So yes. Yeah, very specific. Yes. I'm loving this, what you put in here, Lisa. Watching what you eat, focusing on insulin levels. So being specific is how you remember what you're trying to hold yourself accountable to. So for Tasha, Tanya, who said they're focusing on their business, what is something that you want to achieve by April 1st? Do you have your first paid client yet? If you have had your first paid client by April 1st, How are you going to get the next paid client? Are you focusing more on marketing? Like sometimes people think that, oh, I have to do all this stuff on social media. And honestly, word of mouth gives people a lot of clients first when they are just starting out. So what area you're focused on? Getting the first client? Don't know how to get the first client? Where are you at in your business process? Let me go back up to see. I did. I did also write a book. Thank you. I did write it. I wrote a kids book, Amina's bracelets, and I do want to write a book telling, like sharing my journey and all that too. Like I have so many things I want to still do, and I'll share this now. Like when me and Rochelle talk, I'm always like one goal at a time, one goal at a time. Like I can only master one thing. Like if you really want to get laser focused on it, it's like okay, do I want to laser focus on my health, laser focus on my business? Like, what do I want to laser focus on for the next 2 months? I'm not saying for the whole year, but what do I want to make a priority for that day and that week? Is like I have to pick from a bucket with me. That is a very type A person than me. Rochelle, yes, I love you too, friend. I was on your head today. Yes, I was. And it goes back and forth, right? So if you are like, well, that must be nice. You have some accountability person. Who can you think about in your inner circle that you can look to be a friend? I mean, be hold you accountable. But before I go get this fitness, while I'm talking about fitness and all of this stuff, I'm gonna attempt to open this because I am gonna celebrate and I want some champagne. So Natalie got me some champagne to try to open, and I'm like, watch, I'm clumsy. I'm like, watch out. I make a mistake on here and popped it and hit my laptop trying to open this. But if you're coming into the chat right now, let me know something that you're working on by April 1st. I'm not gonna say for 2023, by April 1st, because we're gonna be back on this live on April 1st. And I want to see if you said you were gonna work on your business, you want to write a book. Did you write a chapter yet? Did you write 2 chapters yet? Like how are we gonna break this down to smart, like specific measurable goals? Girl, I don't know what I'm doing trying to open this open this bottle. So I'm seeing some more comments come in. Yes. Okay, Tasha. I'm gonna be following up with you. And I would say like I'm for Q2, financial garden is gonna be my focus. Just because I got so much I want to do with financial garden that I haven't forgotten about. And I want to talk a little bit more about what caused me to go over budget. So I coming back, what caused me to go over budget, going on a cruise that did cause me to go over budget, but that was not the main factor. Um, while I said I will never share how much I actually saved, I will share how much I did save for housing accommodations. My budget, my max budget per month for housing was $1,500 a month. Month one, I blew that. Like the first 30 days because I was in Europe and it was like the highest it's ever been. Hostels was the highest it has ever been. Hotels, Airbnbs. And for 10 days in Lisbon, Portugal, I spent $1,500 in 10 days. That was my housing budget. Barcelona, like it was, everything was expensive. And I'm not willing to sacrifice certain things. Like I need to be comfortable wherever I stay. It needs to be safe, clean. And I just, if the energy is not right, I've canceled several Airbnbs. If you have not seen some of my older vlogs, I will walk into an Airbnb and be like, nope, I'm not gonna stay here. And so sometimes I have to pay a little bit more. So in Europe, I overspent on my housing a lot. So that did it. So before my mom came out, so in my budget for traveling, I did budget for to fly my mom out every 3 months, 3 to 4 months. Me and my mom are really close, and that was something that I wanted to do. That Egypt did not break the budget. My bringing my mom out, but when I'm happy, I spend money. Like I always talk about emotions and money. And some people, when they get happy, they don't really spend money. When I get happy, I spend money. I was happy to see my mama, so I'm like, we going here, we going here, we gonna do this, we gonna do this photo shoot. And I don't regret none of it because I know that money is not scarce for me anymore. I grew up very low income and I had that mindset, but I'm like, okay, how am I gonna get this money back? Was what I was thinking. Like I'm gonna eventually have it come. So before my mom even came, I was over budget. But what one thing I did do, and now you about to pop. I went to Bulgaria for a month. That's how I ended up in Bulgaria for a month because I need to save money. That's one of the things I say I'm transparent about. I tried to figure out like what type of travel YouTuber I want to be. I'm like, I don't want to talk about like travel hacking and like doing all this stressful stuff to say like how I got this for free. I didn't want to do that. I also didn't want to be a tour guide uh YouTuber. Like I don't plan any of my content out. I literally just press record and go, and I want to continue to grow my channel like that. But to grow on YouTube, you have to feed the algorithm. So I will have to research and figure out what people are searching for and put that out. But the first few months, I was not trying to do that. So with all that being said, I was like, okay, I couldn't figure out what I want to do. And now I figured out I'm just gonna vlog. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing from a vlog perspective and where I'm at, but I'm also going to like research in the financial videos I do will be a lot more structured and that is what I'm going to use to feed the algorithm to kind of boost my channel and travel and money. Okay, Natalie, you ready?
Ready?
I always be scared with it.
I'm scared.
How we both gonna be scared? I
Wait. More than glass.
be like, move the glass.
All right, 500.
I don't know why I be scared to pop. I be like, where I have to go me. Nobody got injured during this recording. I'm seeing some comments come through, so we'll come back to those. But I was saying with cheers. I went to Bulgaria, like I did stuff to offset my costs is my point. Same thing I did when I was paying off $80,000 a debt. I reduced my spending, and that's the hard part people don't want to do. And then I'm going to increase my income. Like I don't have any money coming in because I'm only going off my savings right now. So I see a lot of comments coming through. Hold up. Okay. How do I research the areas and cost of living before I go? I can't think of the website, but before I left, there is a website that will show you the average cost of living in by country. But I looked on Airbnb and see how much the Airbnbs were going for 2 weeks to a month at a time. And when I did that, the costs were low. I should have booked at that time, but I didn't. So when I was in Paris, I didn't have any plans, concrete plans on where I was going next. I went off of what was cheapest, and it was Barcelona. And because I knew I was coming back to Paris in a couple weeks to visit a friend. So even with that, like I knew I was blowing my budget, and that's why I went to Bulgaria. Like that was not on my list, like at all. But yes. Thank you, Mom. Remember you said best or whatever when I be asking you for some favors. But yes, I do take my mom traveling because my mom, I didn't realize that traveling the world was a dream of my mom. So I told her that I was leaving. My mom is a Marine. She's a military vet. Both my parents are Marines or whatever, but my mom joined the Marines because she wanted to travel the world, and she ended up in boot camp and then in California, and she see the world. My dad actually was in Japan when I was born, so he got to travel and see the world, but my mom didn't. So I'm showing my mom the world now. Yeah, she earned it. I got on her nerve. I still get on her nerve. And she raised 2 teenagers at the same time. And now with Financial Garden, when I'm dealing with high schoolers, whoo, when I was a teenager, I really thought I knew everything. And when I'm dealing with them, I'm like, Ma, how did you do this? Like, I don't understand. So yes, right now I'm trying to get to 100 Destiny Style. So Destiny Style YouTube channel. She's on here. So search Destiny Style and subscribe to your channel if you want to get content on getting closer to God. If you want to hear, if you're religious and that speaks to you, and if you're like beauty, like hair, makeup, subscribe to Destiny Style. No, it's not too much. So by April 1st, you want to have 100 subscribers, because we're talking about goals you want to have by April 1st. So April 1st, we all gonna be on here. I'm not gonna be the only person on here drinking champagne. So we all gonna be celebrating. Well, I'm about to go get because I have my having champagne. I'm gonna do 3 miles today walking. You gonna see how that go. No, that's not too much. And this is being recorded Destiny style. So you know I'm gonna follow up. Yes, my mama is spoiled. Yes, I'm glad y'all saying very deserving though. Thank you, Vanessa. I really appreciate it. Cheers. Thank y'all for the congratulations. Thank you, cousin Destiny Style Shalonda. Let's see. Yeah, that's how I was figuring out how much I was planning to budget for. So now for Thailand, the budget is max $700 a month for an apartment. And that's a luxury apartment because the apartments in Thailand are a lot cheaper than other parts of the world. But I also want to, it's not just about it being cheap. I really want to be in Asia. I really want to be in Japan, but Japan is expensive. But I do want to learn about the culture in Thailand. Everywhere I travel, I'm staying in Airbnbs because I want to connect with the culture, which is like what you will see a lot in my vlogs. I didn't really know how I wanted to document that because I'm not trying to exploit any countries that I visit. But now Thailand will save me, so I'm cutting back. So I had a list, I had a plan on where I planned to travel when I first left the U.S. That is now changing because I came back to the U.S. and that cost me money that I was not planning on spending. And now the next few months it's like, okay, you can't go to places. Okay, wow, biggest problem is I got to take countries off my list. Like that's not the end of the world. So I will be in Thailand, and then I really like when I'm with friends, I tend to eat out, and when I'm meeting people in different Facebook groups when I'm traveling, that's how I meet people. I um, I spend money, but certain countries is really cheap, and certain countries is comparable to the U.S. if not more expensive. So when I'm in Thailand, I'm definitely gonna be cooking. But like in Kenya and Portugal, like I was going to the grocery store and cooking, but I will be doing a lot more of that, and that's what I'll be sharing more of. Like I don't know how I'll vlog all that, but I'll definitely be sharing that more. And then budgeting, as far as the template that I use, I actually shared it on another video, but I will be sharing like the budgeting and stuff, all the stuff that I use to get to where I need to be. Oh yes, Nation Africa. Yes, I want to know what that tech business is. So kudos for that, like for even having that idea and going after it in the gym. Listen, I'm not I'm not staying at an Airbnb that doesn't have a gym. And if it's over my budget, I have to research and figure out where the gym is. I know I'm a gym person. Like I cannot I do not do classes. Like I did hot yoga when I was in Kenya, and I'll do classes here and there, but like that's just not my thing. Like I need to put on my headphones and zone out in the gym. My mom, for example, she likes to work out at home. I I need to be in the gym. Like that's where I get the most results. And that's the hard part when you're traveling around. You don't know an area, right? You can look in Google Maps and the place is not open anymore. It's not updated in Google. Or you go to a place and it looks a little shady, or the hours are not what they say. It's all these different barriers that goes into like finding a gym. But that's why I'm excited to go to Thailand because I'm ready to sit and be somewhere for like 3 months. Like I want to be in the same apartment for 3 months at a time so I can get more focused on like getting back into the gym. So I agree with you. I agree with you as far as that. And I don't know your name. I forgot your name. Like I've seen the YouTube channels. Like I know Destiny Stylish Shamanda, but like let me know your name in the chat. But yeah, we gonna be consistent. I'm about to go to get on this treadmill after this. Oh, you wanna go back to school for accounting? Woo! Listen, that is what Rochelle is. Rochelle is studying for her CPA, so that's what I am holding her accountable to. And we just had a nice study session today. That's what she was saying. I was on her head. So congratulations for wanting to go back for accounting. That's my profession. And the thing is like I love numbers and I like the analytical thinking behind like holding my license, but I don't want to like do it in a corporate setting anymore. I actually do miss aspects of corporate America. Like I'm always like I didn't realize how creative I was until the last few years. Like I'm always trying to change something and I'll just do it on my own. Like I'm gonna figure this out. Um and you can do that with accounting and people don't realize it because people come to you all the time and figure out the numbers. You're working with engineers, you're working with a lot of people. So I do miss that part of being in corporate. And I do like accounting when I'm working one-on-one with people. Like I just was burnt out. So I'm excited to hear that you are going for accounting. Um, you're just trying to edit any and upload. So are you having trouble with what to use with editing, Ms. Kim, as far as editing and upload? Like is editing one of your struggles? Let me know in the chat. Oh, okay, I see now. Right, yes, edit. So Ms. Kim, where is your YouTube channel gonna be? So listen, I am really a coach because a lot of people know this chat. No, I was on Destiny Style, who's in the chat, to last April. I think it was Easter, right, Shalonda? And I'm like, girl, you keep talking about this. You just put it up. Like, put it up this Sunday. Record the intro video. Like, this was to my this Miss Kim. This not to you because I don't know you like that. So I will talk to you like that. But my cousin, I'm like, girl, just put the video up. Like, what are you waiting for? And I think it was like Easter. I want to say last year she put her first video up, and I promise y'all it get easier. Because I was putting YouTube videos up on my channel, but my newsletter and my travel diaries, I was I was sending private videos out because I wasn't ready to like for real post a video. So I definitely get it. I'm not gonna act brand new. I'm still in the beginning. 500 is just the beginning. But I was nervous about putting the first video out. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get some comments. People gonna be mean. And I had a lot of thoughts that went into it. But after I did my welcome video, I'm like, okay, now I started thinking in my head, like what story I wanted to tell first before trying to figure out like what people would want to see. I was doing it more for myself. So Ms. Kim, what do you want your voice to be on these internet streets? Thanks, friend. Oh, Ghana. Let me tell you what country has the best no, not best food. She has the best entertainment. Ghana. Listen, I'm going to be in Ghana again in December. I had so much fun in Ghana. Like hands down, Ghana was like the best time because it was partying. And it was like the whole thing is this, like I always like, I'm old, I'm 36. I clubbed my 20s, my college years, I definitely had a good time in college and my early 20s. So I do still like go out to brunch and bars and stuff, but like one of my things that I hate is that like people just be like on with hookah and just blowing hookah in the phone and they literally will not like they don't want to dance, they don't even want to do a two-step and it's annoying. But Ghana, everybody was dancing. Everybody was dancing and having a good time, and the energy was there. Every spot that I went to, and then not just that, like it's I like history, a lot of historical tours. There's beaches in Ghana. The food is amazing. The people are super nice. So like to me, the entertainment just because of like the nightlife for me per se. And then we were doing all type of activities. And I went with a travel group. That was the first travel group that I booked. Outside of that, like out when I think of Ghana, I would say Kenya, as far as like entertainment, depends on what you want to do. I love the safari. The tea farm I went to in Kenya, like I picked tea. I like hot tea. It was so much green in Kenya. When I think Kenya, I just think green spaces. It was so beautiful. It was so many landscapes and stuff like that. And then Europe, Paris was not on my to-do list, but I'm glad I went. That's how I started my journey with my cousins. Shalana's on, and then Natalie and my cousin Deidre. We started in Paris, and I had a good time in Paris because it was so many cafes and You had Apple Towers, museums. So there's a lot to offer. Best food, Egypt. I still am gonna be with Egypt. Every meal I had in Egypt was so good, and I ate so much food in Egypt. Like a couple times where I was like, I'm gonna be sick. I should not have eaten that much food. Like I had a self-control problem because the food was that good in there. Best scenery, um, Venice, Venice, Kenya, and like Portugal, like the like Sintra, Portugal. Like I like water views and stuff like that. And Portugal has a lot of amazing water views, being off the Atlantic Ocean. The coastline is like breathtaking. Venice and Santorini, like it was just so pretty. Like Santorini looks like the postcards, but better. Santorini, Greece. So Santorini and Venice, I like looking at old historical buildings, greenery, and water. So those places that I'm saying, like those, um, what made me think those are the countries that come to mind. I've only needed a visa when traveling through Africa. I do for Thailand. Um, you don't need a visa when you're there for 90 days, so I don't need a visa for that. So I really have to be gone at the 90-day mark, and I'm constantly checking because stuff changes every day. But I've only had to apply to get a visa to go to Egypt, and that wasn't even an application. Me and my mom were gonna do it online, and then you actually get to the airport, you pay $25. They didn't even check our passport. It was just like pay $25 and stamp the passport. Um, in Egypt, I had to get a visa when I went to Tanzania. I had to get a visa when I went to Kenya, and I had to get a visa for Ghana. The visas for East Africa, like Kenya and stuff, like you can do it online. They get you a visa back in 2 days. Ghana was a headache for me because they literally changed it like 2 days, 4 days before I flew out that you could do visa on arrival. So visa on arrival means that when you land in that country, you can go to that podium and you can just pay the money. So visa, all you're doing is applying to enter the country, and they really just want your money. They want to make sure that you're not going to come into their country and stay. They want to make sure you have money, you stay somewhere, you're not going to be on the streets begging for money, and you're not going to be a drain on their economy, that you're going to be an asset and not a liability when you enter the country. So Ghana, I was like, y'all got to do something better with y'all visa, your tourism process, and you have to physically mail your passport to the Ghana embassy in DC to apply for your visa before they just change it. Like I was in Kenya, so I'm like, okay, I've already booked everything. And then once I completed the application, I'm like, I gotta wait. I gotta mail my passport to Washington D.C. That's not happening because I'm in Kenya. And then I seen on their website it was like you can do like emergency visa. In the travel group I was with, they're like, we can do visa on arrival for you. So it's basically you got to pay a company to do the visa on arrival for you. So that was a long answer to say all the countries I visited in Africa, I've had to have a visa. No country in Europe, if you're there for 90 days, you do not need a visa as a US citizen. So that's why I spent more time in Europe, because if you're traveling and you're just going on a whim of, I literally will be filtered on Airbnb like, okay, I need to find where's a cheap country I can visit? Romania. I'm gonna go there for 2 weeks. I was in Romania for 2 weeks. So I have been, when I say I'm over budget, this is my cash money. So I'm like, okay, I can't just have everything depleted. So I've been balancing like with that. And I would say like I'm also using credit cards as I'm traveling for like a standpoint of um, security. I'm not swiping my debit card nowhere. I only swipe my debit card when I'm traveling through the US. So for me, like after I paid off my debt, I tell everybody I have credit cards and I pay them off every month. Um, and I do not want to have any issues with like my money, or if I'm having, I don't want to jinx myself, that's on wood. If I have anything go wrong with someone getting my information, I would rather it be my credit card and dispute it that way versus my money out of my account. Like I don't want to go through that process. You're welcome. Um, I am pushy. I am pushy. Thank you. Yes, I'm happy I finally posted my content too, Anise. Thank you, cousin. Thank you. Thank you, Sherika. You accepted the challenge, and we gonna see. And I'm gonna add to that challenge. You gonna go live too when you get your 100. I'm gonna be on your live, like cheers. Yes, the food in Egypt was amazing. Someone in the previous up in the chat was asking me, where was the best place for food. So I don't see any more questions coming through. So I'm going to end the live, and I think I'm going to come back live sooner, like not necessarily for a milestone, but as I figure out how I want to share my financial journey and showing y'all like how side hustling to increase my income and different things like that. I'm trying to figure out how I want to share that and how I'll do it. And as far as that too, because I do have rental properties and it is cash flow positive now. Woo! Finally, with having rental properties, you have months. I say I'm gonna end, but I'm about to go on a tangent because I'm like, my mama, I'm long with it. You have months where it's positive and like meaning it's money coming in. You have months where it's nothing coming in, like because you have more expenses. I had several months of negative with my rental properties, and I'm positive. So I want to just build up a reserve, and I don't want to live off of that yet. Like I don't want to touch that. I just want to stack that money in my rental properties. I have 3 tenants right now, and when I come back in August, not coming back to the U.S. until August. When I come back in August, that 4th one will be flipped, and I will have 4 tenants before I leave back out of the U.S. again. So I want to reinvest my money back in there. So I'm not taking any of my money out of my rental properties. Financial Guardian has been on hold since this summer. I had people that were in, I think Miss Hart was on. She was one of my facilitators in the classroom in my high school. I hired someone to do elementary. I was completely hands off. I relied on my systems in place and they worked. But aside from that, I don't have any income coming in from Financial Guardian because I stopped. I was just like, I want to take a sabbatical from Financial Guardian and corporate America. The rental properties, people want to say, oh, passive income. Rental properties is very active when you're managing your property. So I do have stuff to do with that. But now that I'm over budget, I know I'm cutting back, but I want to have money coming in. So I can use my CPA license to freelance, but I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want to freelance. I'm doing a lot of stuff with editing and graphics. I've been going to side hustle and do that. It's other things I've been thinking about that I can just pick up and stop and see if I would like to do that for quick money grab. So I'm gonna share all of that with y'all in my travel diaries. And so I need to drop that in here. I will drop it in here after y'all. The links that I'm talking about. Natalie asked me about the site to look up costs. I'll drop that in here, and then I'll also drop in here. I keep saying travel diaries. I'm gonna drop that link in the comments. So if you see the replay, you will see the comment. It will be a pinned comment. But on that note, thank y'all. Cheers to 500, and I will see y'all in a couple weeks when I go live again about something. But I don't know what. It's gonna be something with money. All right. Have a good night, y'all. Bye.